Hello, and thank you so much for serving on this Sunday, March 5th, 2023. I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of what to expect in this week's lesson. So, like normal, arrive around 9:30 and check in the check-in room and meet there to pray together as a team. When you get to the classroom, one adult needs to be setting up the TV for some music on the YouTube channel. You can go ahead and get this week's song, Open the Eyes of My Heart, which has the additional information for knowing which one to play. Get that one started, and it will just loop through other songs that are similar, which is great for background music while the kids are arriving and doing their center choices. One teacher needs to be at the door taking attendance with the white binder, and the other two teachers can kind of walk around and visit with students, answer any questions they have, and just kind of check in with them and see how they're doing. At around 10:10, it's time to clean up centers, have one person from each table put away the center activity, and then call them by grade level to the carpet, starting with kindergarten and ending with 5th grade. You're going to do that worship song together, Open the Eyes of My Heart. Students need to be singing or dancing or both to be showing worship for God. And then at 10:20 is when the groups will split. So kindergarten through 2nd grade will go to the carpet at this point, and 3rd through 5th grade will line up at the door. You need to take a head count and make sure you know exactly who you're taking with you, so that way you are bringing the same kids back down with you at the end of the time. You're going to take the yellow bag that is on that back door. The yellow bag has the key to lock yourselves in upstairs. Make sure that you lock the door behind you. Make sure you bring your cell phones with the volume on, because I will be texting you to let you know when the service is over and it is about to be communion time. So it's time to return the kids downstairs. Then once both groups are in their spaces around 10:25 or so, it'll be time for a monthly memory verse. This is the first week of March, so we are introducing a new memory verse. It is Mark 9:35. So since this is week 1, this week we are doing, and he said to them, if anyone would be first, he must be last of all. If you are downstairs, the kids will practice it multiple times and fill in the missing words on that brown craft paper that is on the wall. If you are upstairs, you'll also be practicing it multiple times, but they will be writing the entire part for week 1, not just missing words, but all of the words. Once you're done with that, it's time to do prayer. If you are downstairs and in the boys' room upstairs, you have a purple prayer request book. If you're on the girls' side upstairs, you have a holographic book. And you can do a few different ways to collect prayer requests. If you feel like you are getting a lot of the same type of prayer requests, like a lot of bumps, scrapes, bruises, lost teeth, things along that nature, you can try and group them and say, does who all has a scrape or a bump this week? And have them raise their hands and write everyone's name down and just do one group prayer request for any boo-boos that they got that week. If you're upstairs, what we've noticed works for those kids is to let them go around the circle, because there's less of them. Go around the circle and they can each share a prayer request going around the circle one time. So then you're going to pray through the prayer requests together. Again, upstairs, they have been wanting to pray themselves. So one student has been leading the prayer request prayer, following that with the Lord's Prayer. Downstairs, we've been still having the teacher lead it, but that's something that we could be kind of working towards. So then we're moving into our memory verse lesson. This week is a little different than normal. We do not have a new gospel story Bible lesson. The first week of the month, we typically try to do a lesson that is just focused on our new memory verse so the kids understand the context of it. So if you are upstairs or downstairs, your directions are right here. And what you're going to do is explain to that their memory verse is located in the book of Mark, so that each student will get a Bible, whether they brought their own or they can borrow one from the classroom, and look up Mark 9, verses 33 through 37. If you're in K through 2, they're going to locate it together, but then the teacher will read it. If you're in 3rd through 5th, they should locate it and then read it independently or with a partner before the teacher reads it to them. So they're going to read it just to understand the context of this month's memory verse. After they have done that, then what they're going to do is answer these follow-up questions and also do the memory verse together one more time. Now, this is where things will be a little bit different. They have the same craft this week, except for we have a catch-up for upstairs. If you're in K through 2, your only craft is to do the Bible verse sheets, which are right here. It is a 2-sided sheet. On one side, it is with dotted lines so they can trace the words for Mark 9:35. And on the flip side, it is bubble letters so they can take their time, color it. They can make patterns with the letters, whatever they would like to do with that to practice their memory verse. Upstairs, you have the same sheets. Before you do these sheets, we have a catch up from last week. Last week, they were supposed to make hearts with the qualities that were in last week's lesson. So I left last week's lesson upstairs as well, folded over to where the craft is. So this is what the downstairs did. They got creative with theirs. So upstairs, there's supposed to be one word on each heart. If there's extra time, they can do designs to go with it. But the boy side and the girl side both have 5 large pieces of construction paper, one word per heart, and display it up on the wall in some way in the classroom before they do these. Because if they run out of time and don't do these, they can always take these home with them and do them at home. So if you are upstairs, be on the lookout for when you're going to receive a text. Typically it is around 11:20, but we can go kind of 10 minutes in either direction depending on the length of the sermon. So be keeping an ear out for your phone to ding to let you know when you have a text that it is time to come back downstairs. And when you get downstairs, 3rd through 5th grade must enter that back door by the worship area. They're going to sit in that worship area while kids are being dismissed. So one teacher should be at the door, marking kids off of the attendance sheet, highlighting them when they're picked up. One teacher or a child should be collecting stickers on the sticker ball from both the parent and the child so that we know that they've been picked up safely. And then a different teacher can be in the worship area handing out Bible prizes. We have the Bible prize bucket is right there. It's the green bucket. If students remember their Bibles from home, they can choose a prize, but please hand them out back here in the worship area. So then that way they're not crowding the door where we're trying to do checkout. Any additional adults should be back in this area with the kids in the worship area to try and keep volume down. You can put a video on, you can put on worship music again, anything to kind of keep them engaged and just kind of quietly focused until their parents are able to pick them up. But that's it. I will actually be back here with you this week, so I will see you on Sunday. Thank you so much for serving.